Hello all, welcome back to Project Mastery Podcast. Let us do a reality check here. AI is no longer a future initiative. It is already inside products, operations, customer support, HR, finance, everywhere. And that means something huge for project managers too. Project managers are increasingly expected to manage AI integrated projects without fully understanding AI basics. So teams are going to struggle, the scope is going to go fuzzy, delivery becomes a guesswork. This is why this series is being started now. We will cover the AI basics for project managers. You don't have to become a data scientist here, but to make you AI literate enough to plan better, ask the right questions, control risk, and deliver outcomes. We'll cover the core concepts like artificial intelligence, machine learning, human intelligence versus AI, augmented intelligence, narrow, strong AI, AGI, history of AI in today's episode. This knowledge will help you manage AI projects practically, and it also supports anyone preparing for CPMAI certification. Hence, the concepts that will be explained will be more CPMAI specific concepts, and at the same time, it's going to help people who want to manage AI integrated projects successfully. We'll start at the basics and gradually get into how do we manage AI projects, where the way you handle AI projects it's going to be different from agile phases. Let us first understand why do we need a machine now? Why do we want to use machines which are intelligent? We want to make improvements in the way we run our daily life. We need accuracy, we need reliability, we need relevance. So you're relying on machines that can be intelligent enough and improve your accuracy, reliability, and relevance. We want to achieve greater scalability. We also want to have a greater level of productivity in whatever we do. And we feel that we are able to achieve them through these intelligent machines. These machines also eliminate drudgery and dull tasks. They are going to enable us continuous monitoring. They are going to enable continuous monitoring, and they can also do a continuous audit. Before we talk about artificial intelligence, we need to understand what is human intelligence, because artificial intelligence is all about artificially you are making machines intelligent enough to simulate human intelligence. So let's first understand what is the core of human intelligence. We as humans are assumed to be intelligent. Let us make this assumption true, and assuming that we are intelligent, let's understand what human intelligence is. We perceive the environment, we are able to perceive the outside environment, we are able to understand the outside environment, we are able to learn from experience, we are able to use our reasoning skills to solve complex problems, to solve new problems. We are able to adapt to a particular situation, we are also able to adapt to a completely new situation. Whatever we learn, we are able to apply it to different context. We do have emotions, we are able to handle these abstract concepts. We do have the knowledge with which we have the ability to even manipulate any specific environment. We are able to express imagination, we are able to express creativity, we are able to respond quickly, we are able to deal with complex situations. We know what is important, we are able to judge what is important, we are able to judge what is not important, we are able to handle any confusing situation, we are able to find out which is an ambiguous situation, which is not an ambiguous situation. We are able to learn by observing, we are able to learn by discovering, we are able to learn through trial and error, we are being taught to learn. The core of intelligence is always going to be what we spoke till now, perception, meaning we are able to understand things, we are able to sense things, we are able to process inputs, we are able to process a lot of inputs. The next thing is going to be prediction. Perception is one aspect, the other aspect is prediction. We are able to think ahead of the future. We are able to understand what are the possibilities in front of us. We spoke about perception, we spoke about prediction, and the next one, which forms a core part of intelligence, is planning. Planning refers to you are able to achieve a goal-oriented actions you are able to take. You are able to adapt yourself to new environment. You are able to determine what are the outcomes, and you can also self-learn. You are able to come up with a goal, and you take all the actions directly towards the goal. You explore new ways and achieve the goal. To summarize, when we talk about intelligence, we are able to perceive, we are able to predict, we are able to plan. When machines are able to do this, we call them intelligent machines. Artificial intelligence is a field of building computer systems that can perform tasks that normally require human intelligence, which we spoke about. You go to build computer systems. It's a field of building computer systems that can perform tasks as intelligent as humans do, that can simulate human intelligence, that are capable of doing all the tasks that we just spoke now, where they are able to improve the performance over time through experience rather than explicitly getting programmed. They are able to understand the language, they are able to recognize patterns, they are able to learn from data, they are able to make decisions, they are able to solve problems. They are able to perceive, predict, and plan, just like how humans do. Artificial intelligence is all about the goal of making machines act intelligently in a particular task. Machine learning is just one main method. It's all about how machines learn patterns from data. Deep learning is a subset of machine learning, which uses neural networks with many layers. Examples of artificial intelligence tasks: we know that we're using chatbots that can answer questions, face recognition on telephones, face recognition on mobile phones, recommendation systems like YouTube or Netflix, spam detection in email. Let's understand what is AGI. AGI refers to the machine's ability to handle any cognitive task at a human or superhuman level. AGI is always focused on creating machines that are very intelligent and that can successfully perform any task which is an intellectual task that a human is able to perform without the need for any retraining or use of different ML models for different tasks. AGI is referred to as a strong AI because it implies there's an intelligence system that's being built which is strong enough to handle the intelligence needs. What we mean here is to handle any general intelligence needs. Researchers are yet to reach this level. We have not been able to build strong AI systems capable of AGI so far. Narrow AI is the category of AI systems that can handle a single set or a small set or related learning task for a specific function. Narrow AI applications have to be trained again and again. They need to be retrained. They use completely different approaches related to algorithm. They use different data to be applied to different learning domains or tasks. Examples of narrow AI include autonomous systems, chatbots that we use, which are basically AI-powered chatbots, recommendation systems, especially you can see in YouTube, image recognition. Weak AI is a term for narrow AI. Weak AI refers to AI systems that are focused on one particular problem or a task domain. Narrow AI is a preferred term to use than using the term weak AI. What is Turing test? Turing test is named after AI pioneer Alan Turing. The Turing test aims to test whether a machine or a computer system is intelligent by putting the system to a specific test. During this test, a human, a machine, and an interrogator, all three of them engage in a conversation. If the interrogator cannot distinguish between the human and the machine, then we are going to conclude that the machine is able to pass this particular Turing test, and thus it has reached a particular threshold, which is a critical threshold, which is actually a measure of intelligence. Now, Turing test is being considered as a simplistic assessment of whether or not machines have achieved the required levels of intelligence. Augmented intelligence is a term that we need to understand. There are two worlds here. One is machine world, the one is human world. When you combine both of them, this is called augmented intelligence. This is where humans and machines work together to assist the human to perform better at a particular task. Augmented intelligence systems provide assistance that can help humans to perform tasks that were previously impossible or that were previously extremely difficult or that were requiring significant effort and time. Humans in general are very good at emotional quotient, common sense, creativity. They are very good at intuition. But AI is not, at present, AI is not very good at these things. Humans, they are very poor when it comes to probabilistic thinking. They are very poor when it comes to bias or you want to deal with extremely large volumes of data. AI is extremely great at probabilistic thinking and they can deal with big data. They are able to process a lot of inputs. They are able to deal with large volume of data. Humans take time to get trained. AIs are very good at getting easily trained and being trained, improving themselves. So we are able to leverage the strengths and capabilities of both humans as well as AI, combine them together, and this is called augmented intelligence. When we talk about history of AI, we need to understand that artificial intelligence came before the development of the computer. Cybernetics is a field where feedback systems are being used to present some intelligent capabilities. It's a theoretical study of communication and control process in biological, electronic systems as well as mechanical systems. Norbert Wiener developed many concepts of artificial neuron in the year of 1940. Gray Walter's tortoise 1948 to 1951 saw the first electronic autonomous robot. This showed that connections between small number of brain cells is possible and this can give rise to a more complex behavior. Claude Shannon's mouse 1950, a mechanical mouse that could solve mazes. It was designed to search through the maze, keep searching until you find a target. The mouse could then be placed in any location and because of its prior experience, it could go and approach directly the target. The term artificial intelligence was coined in the year 1956. There are a lot of efforts being made around machines and machine intelligence They were all being developed from different perspectives. Machine intelligence was being developed from robotic perspective. It was also being developed from computing perspective. It was being developed from linguistic perspective, philosophy perspective, neuroscience perspective, cybernetics perspective, behavioral psychology perspective. Artificial intelligence was coined in 1956 Dartmouth Conference, and it appeared to be an amalgamation of these perspectives. Let's understand this term called AI winter. What is AI winter? AI winter means there is going to be a decline in funding. There's going to be a decline in investment. There's going to be a decline in interest in AI research. There's going to be a decline in AI usage. It's a period of decline. During AI winter, it's extremely hard to get proper funding for research or for any project that have to do with AI. And companies would generally focus elsewhere, not on AI. AI industry has experienced two AI winters. One is 1970-1980 and the other one is 1990 to early 2000s. What is the reason for AI winter? It is basically caused due to over-expectation. Over-expectation of what AI can achieve in implementation versus what was promised during research and during the prototype phase. AI suffers significantly because of the hype cycles, and then you're going to witness a steep decline of interest. This is what happens during AI winter. We all understood that AI has been in place since 1950, and we've also seen two AI winters. But AI is popularized now. That's because of great improvements with big data. We all know that data is going to be fuel for AI. The infrastructure and the experience that is required to deal with big data, rapid evolution of machine learning algorithms, rapid evolution of deep learning algorithms, cost-efficient computing, limitless computing power. It's all because of these advancements. AI has been popularized now. Digital transformation is taking place now. The way organizations work, the way societies work, things are gradually moving away from non-digital to a newly digital way. There's a great demand for intelligent systems. By this time, you would know that learning is required to perceive, learning is required to predict, learning is required to plan. We understand that programming is definitely not learning. Process flows are definitely not learning. Rules are also not forming part of learning. All these are all instructions which are being provided by humans. Let us imagine if the system or a particular machine is able to come up with its own rules. It's able to come up with its own flow. It's able to come up with its own process. It's able to come up with its own logic. This is intelligence. Intelligence is all about you're going to improve with experience. Systems are going to improve with experience. System is able to adapt, and this is what machine learning is. What is machine learning? Machine learning means machine is learning in simple terms. Machines able to learn over a period of time. It's able to adapt without following explicit instructions. Cognilytica defines machine learning as a computer program that's supposed to learn from experience with respect to some class of task, and there's going to be a performance measure involved, and if it's performance at a particular task, which is going to be measured, and that's going to improve with experience. We'll talk about the machine learning concepts in the next part. Let's do a quick wrap up here. When project managers don't have AI basics, we're going to see only failures. Scope becomes magical thinking, timelines ignore data readiness, stakeholders assume AI is perfect, success criteria becomes vague. If you're pursuing CPMAI, treat the series like your project management friendly runway, a concept you can actually apply in AI integrated projects. Because we all know that running AI projects requires different phases, and agile methodology alone is not going to help them run data projects. We come to the end of the podcast. Hope the knowledge is valuable. Please do subscribe to Project Mastery, because modern project success is going to be project management plus AI literacy. Thank you for tuning in.